Morning all, hope you're doing well, hope you're staying safe. It's Friday, June the 19th, 2020. Quite a bit to get through today again, so let's get right to it. So US cases trending up yesterday, and that's been the way it's been for the past 2 or 3 days now. The deaths are still trending down though, so really good news on that. Florida cases, big spike yesterday, over 3,000 cases for the first time ever, but the deaths haven't gone up. They're the same as they were like 3 weeks ago. So number of cases not translating into either really hospitalizations, more hospitalizations or deaths. So a different demographic catching the virus now. The stats, we're going to see 12% plus of all those tested now with the virus. But like I say, those tests and those positive cases aren't translating into more hospitalizations and more deaths. Big spike in Orange County yesterday. That's been attributable to bars and restaurants around the University of Central Florida campus. So as a result of that, Mayor Jerry Demings yesterday issued an executive order mandating the wearing of masks in Orange County from midnight on Saturday. That's tonight. That now follows Osceola County. Osceola County has had their mandatory mask wearing executive order in place since the middle of April. So the Orange County is where most of Disney World sits, and all of SeaWorld and Universal Studios. Osceola is where part of Walt Disney World sits. So if you're out and about now in Osceola or Orange County, going to restaurants, going to a gas station, going to a Walmart or something like that, then you're going to have to wear a mask. Obviously you don't wear a mask while you're eating. Weather, it's going to be, it's going to get up there next week. We're going to see a temperature of 94 degrees next week, 35 degrees centigrade. The usual showers in the afternoon. It did rain quite heavily here yesterday, first time in 3 or 4 days. Poor news at Disney World. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party has been cancelled for the whole of 2020. That's because they can't do the parades and the fireworks, etc., so it wouldn't be the same as what they've said. Better news is that the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival will take place this year from the 15th of June. That's good, and it will incorporate some of the garden festival in it as well. So a lot more cast members have been recalled to Disney World starting the 25th of June in various locations within resorts and in parks as well. And the first value resort was mentioned, not for housekeeping but in other areas of that value resort, so watch the news for that. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter turned 10 years old yesterday. I didn't hear of any big celebrations going on, but I do remember very vividly the aerial shots of people winding right round into Universal City Walk. It was amazing. Finally, just to touch on British Government Foreign Commonwealth Office advice for travellers, it's essential business only, and there are many restrictions placed on people coming out of the UK, so have a quick look at that and you'll see where we are right now. No news on the US government lifting those travel restrictions, no news on Governor DeSantis lifting the tri-state self-quarantine restrictions either. So that's the news for today. If you're new to the channel, please do subscribe, hit that notification bell and press all. You'll get this every day, 6 days a week, and something different on a Sunday. Please hit like. If you're getting some value from this video, please hit like. The YouTube algorithm likes. So yes, please do that and help the channel out. It will help it grow. Okay, let's get to the news. The total number of cases recorded in the US yesterday was 27,924. That's the most since May the 21st, and the trend is moving up slightly. The number of deaths recorded across the US yesterday was 747, with that trend still moving down. It was another record-breaking day for Florida yesterday with 3,207 cases recorded. There were 43 deaths recorded in Florida yesterday, but that statistic has remained flat for the last 3 weeks. 25,556 tests were recorded yesterday, with 3,207 cases coming from them, or 12.55% positive. 188 hospitalizations occurred, and that's 0.74% of all tests. 43 deaths results in 0.17% of all tests. So while there's been a substantial increase in the number of positive tests by percentage, there's been very little movement in the percentage of people either hospitalized or dying from COVID-19. This graph shows the spike in Orange County yesterday. This has been attributable to bars around the University of Central Florida. And this spurred Orange County Mayor Jerry Demings into signing an executive order for the mandatory wearing of masks from Saturday morning. There is no end date to this executive order, and it will go on until it's rescinded by Mayor Jerry Demings. The executive order outlines who is to wear the face coverings, when they are to be worn, and who is exempted. Orange County holds most of Walt Disney World and all of Universal Orlando and SeaWorld Orlando. Osceola County, where the rest of Walt Disney World sits, has had an executive order for masks to be worn in place since April the 13th. In this map of Orange County you can see both the Magic Kingdom highlighted and Universal Orlando Resort highlighted in the bottom left. All of the International Drive area is also in Orange County. In this map of Osceola County you can see Celebration and Kissimmee highlighted in the top left. This covers most of all the resorts along the 192 Earl Bronson Memorial Highway. Weather in Orlando today is going to be 87 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 30 degrees centigrade. Over the course of the next 10 days we're going to get up to 94 degrees Fahrenheit, that's 35 degrees centigrade, with plenty of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Yesterday Disney World announced that it had cancelled Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party for the whole of 2020. They said that they had done this because they determined that many of its hallmarks, stage shows, parades and fireworks are unable to take place in this new unprecedented environment. There's been no announcement yet about Mickey's Very Merry Christmas Party, nor the EPCOT International Festival of the Holidays, which includes the Candlelight Processional. In better news, the EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival will take place this year, starting on July the 15th. That's the day that EPCOT opens. Disney has said that this will go through to the fall, but without giving an exact date when it will end. Because of issues surrounding social distancing, the Eat to the Beat concert series will not take place in 2020. A lot more of Disney's cast members will be recalled to work on June the 28th and July the 5th. That's over both resorts and theme parks. It was also announced that buffet meals will be transformed into family-style affairs now. This includes Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary Resort. As part of this announcement, cast members are due to return to Disney's Pop Century Resort. Disney has made no announcement as to when Pop Century will reopen, but this is the first value resort to be mentioned in cast members returning to work. The Wizarding World of Harry Potter at Universal Orlando's Islands of Adventure turned 10 years old yesterday. I didn't read about any big celebrations taking place there yesterday, but this was a game changer for Universal. No announcement has been made by the US government on the easing of travel restrictions. This is the current British Government Foreign and Commonwealth Office advice to people travelling to the US. British nationals are currently generally restricted from entering the USA if they've been in the UK, Ireland, Schengen Zone, Iran or China within the previous 14 days. If you do get to the US, you then must self-quarantine for 14 days. So while US cases are trending up, deaths are still trending down, so that's good news. Different demographics getting this virus now. In Florida, obviously massive spike yesterday, but please don't just look at that number as being the end of the world. It's not. We're still trending, level on deaths, even though there's a lot more cases now. So that's good news. It doesn't appear so, but it is. And hospitalizations are staying around the same as well. So again, different demographic. That's proven by the spike in Orange County being around UCF. A lot of younger people around there. I think the median age for cases in Orange County yesterday was 28, 29. So that's much, much different. So these people are usually much more able to cope with the virus than the older generation that succumbed to it earlier. That then meant the executive order from Jerry Demings. I'm really pleased that that's happened. Very pleased that he's now got into step with Osceola. Hopefully people will abide by that, and it will help people remember that we actually do have a virus going on. It's not been the case when I visited. Sometimes when I visited Disney Springs, City Walk or SeaWorld. So let's hope that brings people back into reality. The Mickey's scary, yeah, Mickey's Not So Scary. Not really a big surprise that that's been cancelled, but will there now be a knock-on to the Very Merry Christmas Party and the Candlelight Processional in EPCOT? I do hope not, because we are quite a long way away from that. I think Disney have had to make the decision about Not So Scary because we're in the middle of June now, and that happens from August, September. So we're kind of rapidly approaching that time, and they had to do something about that. The Christmas ones are still quite a long way away. So Disney have got more time to look at that and see where we all go with the virus. So hopefully they won't be cancelled. So better news with the food and wine. The only thing that's a downer on that is that the Eat to the Beat concert series won't take place, but it's nice that the Food and Wine Festival is taking place, and they've chucked a bit of the Garden Festival in there, so you can eat your food and while watching Nice Topiaries now. Yeah, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, wow, 10 years old, I cannot believe that. Where was I 10 years ago? What was it, 2011, I was in Dubai. We lived in Dubai from 2008 to 2013, but watched this on the news and it was crazy. And then I did want to put something in there about the British Government Foreign and Commonwealth Office advice still. It isn't sensible, I guess, now to travel. It's essential travel only to the US because of the number of cases, and it is very restrictive on who actually can get in. So if you've been to the UK, Ireland, Iran, China or the Schengen countries in the last 14 days, you're basically prohibited from coming unless you're a diplomat or something else, or a US citizen, green card holder. And then when you do get here, if you are among that select group, then you have to self-quarantine for 14 days anyway, so no point coming. That's the news for today. I'll be back tomorrow with more, so join me then. Until then, take care, stay safe, see you then. Cheers for now.